and let's just say go to non-shady site. This video, we're going to be looking at links. Links could be used in a variety of ways. Obviously, when you click on a link, maybe on your Facebook or whatever social media service you use, you go to another page. In other instances, you leave the website altogether. Now, there are different ways of handling this, thinking about this. We're just going to do the basics here because that is, well, what this tutorial is about. So how do we link? We're going to start up here, and we'll just do something very simple like this. We'll make an A tag here, and let's just say go to non-shady site. I'm going to click save, refresh this, go to non-shady site. We can't really click on it because not much is going on here. Well, let's give it somewhere to go. We're going to give it an Href, which is the hyperlink reference. And you notice here I'm not just typing google.com. And the reason for this is when we go up to a browser up here and type www.google.com, the browser is actually in the background pre-pending this to the beginning. But since we're programming it, we kind of have to have this here at the beginning. So let's save this. Let's do this. Now we see that there's an underline below it, meaning it's active. Yes, you could take this off and decorate it any which way you want to later on. But let's click this and see if it works. And we see we get, cool, we go to our Google website. But what if we wanted to keep everything here, everything going on the way it is, and we wanted to just launch the user straight up out of our site? Meaning when they click the link, it opens a new tab. How do we do that? Well, that's actually pretty easy to do here. The way we do that is we type in target, and we're going to type in blank. And we see here that it launches it straight on out. Blank just means that you start a blank new tab, at least for memory, that's what I think it stands for. But it just launches them out of the site that they're currently on, which hopefully will be yours, and take them somewhere else. Now, there are not issues with that. You have to think if you are selling stuff and you're removing the user from your website, you are literally removing them from your store. So there may be other strategic ways you could get them the information they need without them directly leaving your site. Now just keep that in mind. If we were to take the target off here, we know what the default behavior is going to be. We're going to just open it up inside of the current window here. Now, there's more things you could do with the link than just go to other, pages like google.com. You can actually go to other pages inside of your website as well. So let's go to pages here. Let's go in and make a new file. We'll call this beer.html. Pump this on out. We got chug, chug, chug going on. And we have this right here. So how do we get to there? Well, one way we could do it is we could actually do it in our Href here. It's not just for going to big, gigantic name websites. We also use this tag to go internally as well. So we're going to hit // and this is going to go for the relative directory here. So it's going to look in your directory and say, okay, relative to like where I am, kind of what's going on next. And I do have a plugin here. Let me go in. I think it's, let me type it in here, see if it pops up. It's Path Intellisense. Now, I could figure this out on my own, but if I know how it works, why not have a tool that just makes me do it a little bit faster? So install this, refresh your browser or your IDE, I should say, and what you're going to be able to do is have these suggestions come in right here. Now I'm going to go to pages, and then I'm going to go to beer.com. Did I not save it here? Let me refresh this and get rid of this. Saved it. Okay. There we go. Now it works. Now, welcome to beer. Awesome. But let's take this, and how do we go backwards? Say that we are at this site here. What does it look like? How do we navigate away from something back to where we came from? Well, we hit ... // And so this means, hey, look outside of where I'm currently at. And so outside of where I'm currently at, we could either go up to pages, which will bring us back down into where we currently are, which is not what we want. Or we could go to index.html. We could have go to homepage. We'll click this, and then we go back home to our homepage. You can see it says bro here at the top, and then chug here at the top. And that is one way we could use links to navigate internally rather than externally to other sites. Now, just to compare the two, yes, you have to have links to multiple pages, but also it doesn't hurt to have links going to other websites like your Apples, your Facebooks, to your other blog sites, wherever, because as Google, other search engines look at your website and do kind of the ranking thing, and I don't know all 200 plus features they look at, the amount of traffic going in and out gives credibility and credence to your website as well. So don't be afraid to link to other websites for a reference, to cite something, or anything along those lines. Just if you're doing stuff in a business sense, you typically want to keep the user there as long as possible. So the last thing we're going to do is to show you how to link to other parts of your website. Those parts of your website are actually going to be stuff on the same page. For that, let's make some p tags. So we have a bunch of stuff here, and I'm going to bring this on over. Feel free to go to this lorem ipsum generator. Actually, I should keep this right here. It's a bunch of gibberish. So what I'm going to do is copy this. And let me just expand this out here. And let me do a toggle word wrap. There we go. It looks kind of ugly. And let's give a H2 gibberish one. And actually, let's delete that. And you don't have to follow along here if you don't have to. You could do much smaller examples. I just want this to run beyond the current height of the page, past the fold, so to speak. So we have gibberish 2. And we have gibberish 3. So let's get this moved on over here. And so great, we have all this right here. Now what we're going to do is this thing, we're going to add an ID in here. One. And we're going to learn about IDs and classes and all that jazz later. But I'm just showing you a little bit of a preview now. And IDs are unique, so you're not going to have more than one thing with the same ID. You'd use a class for that. And so say we wanted to have something else here, and let's use a break. And let's say go to gibberish 3. What I would do in here is type 3. And so what's going to happen, I'm in my beer HTML page, you know, chug here at the top. And I know this kind of looks kind of gross, but what I have is 3 of the exact same blocks of text here, but I have a different header for each one: gibberish 1, gibberish 2, and gibberish 3. What I want to show you is that you could click this link, this hyperlink up here, and it will take you to this right here, gibberish 3, the top. So let's go here and click. And what do you know? It takes us right here. If we had more space down at the bottom, say we had even more text, the gibberish 3 would be up a little bit higher towards the top of the page, but since there's not, this is as far as the browser could go. But that's another neat tool and trick you could use, and there's other ways to style it and whatnot to make it a bit smoother of a transition. But a lot of websites I see actually use this feature, and then other websites have a feature here down at the bottom where they give you a hyperlink or a button, something really cute, to send you all the way back up to the top of the page, which is also a nice feature, but it's the same concept. You could click up here to go down here, but you could also have a button under here or resting in the bottom right corner to do the same thing and send you right up here. It's all just using IDs and the link tag, or element I should say, and that's pretty much it. Pretty easy stuff.